I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what. Told you I'ma do me, why you hating on me, it's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm backed up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up. Only buying car till you get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro.
What it do, folks? What's going on? Team No Sleep coming at you on a new night because it's a weird week, but that's all right.
All right, we still get it in.
Yes, sir. Montel Allen, how you living, brother?
Man, 10 toes down, 6 feet above. I'm blessed, homeboy.
Now you know that statement is in our opening song. I don't know if you ever recognize that, but I specifically chose that song because of your statement that you always say. I'll have to let you.
I can't take credit for all of it. I know. Nipsey Hussle used to always say 10 toes down, but yeah. I mean, I always like to say 6 feet above as well, man. So. And we got to be blessed, man. Anytime you like that, you got a fighting chance.
That's true. So That's true. I see folks rolling in. I know I sent out some social media posts just now. Let me go ahead and get the comments locked in properly. There we go. I see you, sir. Good to see you.
Our biggest fan right there.
There it is. Always on time. Always on time. A lot of stuff going on this past week, man, in sports. We were not going to go live this week for whatever reason. I forgot what it is, but and now we're going live on Wednesday instead of Thursday because there's some things that we need to catch up from last week, and then there's some craziness happening this week that just can't be overshot and overseen and delayed anymore. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. Let's start off with football. Let's talk about the mini. I'm not even call it the mini Super Bowl, but let's talk about the clash of the Titans, New England Patriots against them Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yes.
We could call it Brady versus Mac Jones, but it was really Brady versus Bellichek. Talk to us a little bit about what you saw during that game, and with the expectations. Who did you think was going to win, and were you anyway surprised by the outcome or the results of the game?
Okay, let's go with the second part first. I wasn't surprised by the outcome that Tampa Bay was going to pull it out. Tom Brady just has too many weapons around him, and he did it again. Obviously, came back, with minutes left in the game, or I think less than a minute to drive him back in range to get the field goal in order to get the win.
Yeah.
The game was even better than I expected because I'm a football guy. Bellichek is a mastermind.
Right.
He dissected their game plan so well and so good that he made Matt Jones look like he was an all-pro quarterback. You know what I mean? He looked like he was a veteran out there the way he was slinging the ball and doing his things and executing. And I appreciate Belichick's mind game in football. I think he's the greatest football mind there is. I mean, him in the professional.
At least out there right now. Now. Definitely, yeah.
I mean, he's just far above everybody. And you can't imagine if he had that personnel that he had. I thought the most telling part of the whole game was when they had to shake hands afterwards. It was like it was the best. It was like
that was must see TV, right? Because neither one of them wanted to do it on screen. And Bellichek being his normal dry self, who knows what they said? We'll never know. If we could be the fly on Brady's helmet at that time, but that just seemed so awkward and uncomfortable.
It was one of those shakes that after you get finished fighting somebody, and your mom and their mom bring you together, so you make y'all shake hands. It was one of those like y'all, you better shake hands.
You better shake hands, man. But they hooked up afterwards. First, let me say what's up to East Coast right here. What's up, MDH? You still up? What is it? 9:30 on the right coast. It's all right. You can catch the replay if you start dozing off. But I'm definitely glad you're here.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go back to what you were saying about Mac Jones. I really thought that he gained respect. Of the Patriots diehard fans by his performance there, because he stood up there. He was slanging it just like you were saying. He was running the game plan. He took a few hits, and it was close. It was too close for
I'm gonna tell you
a
right
rookie
now. I think
quarterback.
one of the best quotes. One of the commentators said one of the best quotes. Tom Brady time was up in New England. It was up. They had to at some point move on.
Yeah.
Cam Newton was a transitional person to kind of wait till they found the right person. Matt Jones was the right guy.
Yeah.
The way he played, he was the right guy. And I guarantee you, if he can keep playing and improving like he did on that performance, Patriots are going to be in the playoffs, and Patriots in a couple years are probably going to be right back in the Super Bowl.
Is that right? You making big predictions?
The only thing that the only piece that I believe that Bellichek has been missing is that consistent quarterback, a guy that can complete the ball, throw the passes that he wants, and follow his directions the way he wants to. Remember, Matt Jones doesn't know any better but what Belichick tells him.
True.
So he's going to be that disciple, just like Tom Brady was. Tom Brady knew nothing but what Belichick taught him.
20-some years, yeah.
So now that no tainted quarterback, no guy coming from the outside with his own preconceived notions, he's going to be Belichick's guy, and he's going to be able to execute and do his thing. And I believe they're not that far removed from being in the Super Bowl in a couple of years.
Okay. So, well, I would definitely believe you, and I believe that he's a sponge to soak up the Belichick rules of engagement. Defense didn't really show much. Richard Sherman being back, he wasn't shutting him down out there.
Well, he got a fumble recovery though, but I mean,
he's definitely not the same Sherman.
But he's not a guy. He's not a guy to make big plays or lock down guys. He's the guy to lead that secondary to where they're supposed to. Make sure they don't make mistake-free secondary football. Just don't give them the big plays.
Yeah.
Keep them in contain. You got to be honest with you. In football, especially nowadays, the probability of a person driving 80 yards without making a mistake is very hard. It's very hard, as you can see with the Raiders and the Steelers. It's very hard. Very hard to move 80 yards without making a mistake.
We're gonna end this show early. You keep talking trash about these Steelers.
But if you play those probabilities correctly, more than likely your success. Richard Sherman is there to be that probability guy. Hey, look, make them play as many plays they have to get down there to try to drive that 80 yards. We're banking they're gonna make a mistake somewhere along the line, either 3 and out, something's not gonna execute, and move off the field. So I thought he played decent for a guy that hasn't played.
Oh yeah. I had to throw it out there because again, he was he's one of those folks that we need to watch and that we're watching, right? He's one of those big names, and he didn't have the major showing that fans wanted to, but he had impact on the game, which is true. And again, I think it was closer than a lot of us expected it to be. The result came out the way a lot of us expected it to be. And shouts out to everyone in New England for their tribute and their reception to Brady, right? For giving him his props when he walked out there on the field. So that was a good thing.
But in New England, like you said, the torch has been passed, though. I believe it's been passed.
They made the right decision too by not going with Cam.
They made the right choice, 100%.
Keep with football. I'll just go ahead and say it. Yeah, my Steelers need help. I'll just leave it at that, and then we'll move on. So another topic. But the Cowboys they might be for real. Shouts out to them Cowboys out there trying to do something, huh? I mean,
I think it's fool's gold. I still think it's fool's gold right now.
Okay. You don't think Dak out there can do it with his pre-game warm up?
I think their offense got a lot of weapons. I think they show they can score on a lot of people. I still say that they said their defense is like one of the top defensives statistically, but they still have a hard time stopping the run. They just waived their linebacker, their all-pro linebacker that was all-pro 2 years ago, so they waived him. So I'm assuming they feel they have enough depth to be able to cover where they need to go. But let's be honest with you, they haven't played all the top teams in the NFC that they're going to have to go through. They've been playing mostly conference games, and their conference is weak. Let's be honest. You know, the Redskins, the Giants, and Philadelphia are not the greatest teams to be playing.
That's true.
You know, so they played well against New England and lost. They played very well against New England and lost. We got that part. But I want to see them. Let's get to the New Orleans. Let's get to other teams in the NFC that they're gonna have to compete against to see if they're really the real deal. And until that's fool's gold. Man, you got those Niners, you got those Rams, you got those Seahawks, you got those Arizona Cardinals. You got a whole lot of people to go through to say, "Hey, we arrived." I'm not buying it just yet.
Hey, Kyler Murray in Arizona still unbeaten, so it's an interesting time. And you know, week 4, week 5 was pretty good for sure. We will see how it continues to shake up, but last weekend was a pretty good weekend for NFL football sports fans for sure. Just a lot of things going on. What's Melanie talking about here? Football, kind of random question, but why did the NFL stop with the pink accessories during October? That is a good point. Yeah, for breast cancer month, they were doing that. What are they doing? They're not doing anything now, right?
Excuse me. No, not as right now. I don't know why
what you drinking while we having a show, brother?
I'm not.
At least wait till I take you off camera. You know,
I'm not giving you no props because I don't want to give them no more money than they already got. But it's the company my boy works for.
Oh my God!
Xavier Carroll. He works for this company, and they do cola beverages. So I'm drinking the cola from there.
Let me see something. You're crazy. You're crazy. I'm doing a little search right here on this, Mel. I don't know, right? Because again, and I get all of the press releases from the NFL communications team, and there has been nothing mentioned about what they're doing for recognition support for any causes. And I did not see anything explicitly written about stopping anything in October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The last statement that I saw was actually at the beginning of the year, and we didn't even talk about it, but it was the fact that the NFL was going to start playing the Black National Anthem at the start of every game. So that was the last kind of social conscious statement that I saw come out of the NFL communications team. But I'll definitely research that.
And to be honest with you, I don't even know how that's working out. It's never been televised on TV.
I haven't seen it. Yeah,
it hasn't been televised on TV. So if they are playing it, and I couldn't tell you if there was an impact of it or not because I've never heard it being played at the game or how it's being played at the game. So yeah, that story, even though it's been there, it's kind of mute. And then why would they stop do a breast awareness thing? Breast awareness campaign. Sorry, not thing, but campaign might be something. I mean, maybe they got so much pressure from other organizations saying, "How come they don't do awarenesses about our issues and stuff like that?" I'm not quite sure why they would stop it, or maybe it's something they're just doing under and not really promote it on their uniforms and stuff anymore. I'm not quite sure. Yeah. It just seems odd because she's right. Like 2 years ago, right when the Black Lives Matter thing was really heightened is kind of when they stopped doing it. And I don't know why. Kind of unfair to be honest with you.
Yeah. And this screenshot is actually from 2012. So this isn't even, I will take that as homework and we will figure that out.
Yeah. They should go back to it though. I mean, they need to go back to it, man. I thought it was a great thing them doing to have breast awareness campaign. All the teams celebrated it. They showed the solidarity by wearing the pink. We should have that. They should bring that back. Hopefully,
we'll make it happen. We'll find a way to make it. I know some folks. We'll reach out to some folks.
Yeah.
Keeping with football in a more of a less than positive connotation, and we can't go without talking about it. Jacksonville Jaguars, 0-4, but that's not even the worst part of the news. What's going on? That's not the story, right? That was the story for a while, but oh Lord, Coach Urban Meyer is out here celebrating in Ohio at his pub, at his spot, right? They got the week off. They've been losing. They haven't been winning any games. So he's in there having dinner with some family and some friends. The next thing you know, he gets caught in a very compromising position that he shouldn't be. If you haven't seen or heard of the story, I'll summarize it. He was caught on video in a less than flattering position with a lady who was not his wife. And iPhones and camera phones are all over the place. So 5 minutes after he was in that position, it was all over the internet. Next thing you know, the man has to apologize profusely to the team. He has to apologize to his players, but first and foremost, he had to apologize to his family. And one story that I saw was that his family is incredibly upset with him. That was actually the quote that I saw. His family is incredibly upset with him. Coach Meyer should know better. He does know better, right? Coming from Ohio State, he knows better than to get himself into this kind of position. He is not a rookie in terms of his social awareness and his popularity, but he definitely got himself caught up in a scandalous situation. Montel, talk to us about what you think about this situation and how he can get himself out of this. Right, again, 0-4 to start the season, and now he's bringing this distraction to the organization, to the team, and especially to himself.
I think the 0-4 part is the part that needs to be, definitely talked about and needs to be understanding on this professional level of what he does for his career. His private life, him that uncompromising position with somebody outside his wife, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors with him and his wife, if they're on the outs, if they're on the ends, or what's going on in their personal situation for him to feel he thought it was okay to take that picture or be with that young lady in that certain situation. So I'm not going to condone a person about their personal life because that's their personal life. That's what they do on their own. I'm going to condone them more about the football thing is like you're out celebrating and partying after going 0-4, where I would figure you, Urban Meyer, the great college coach, will be in the lab trying to figure out a way how we're going to get another win. It's not your quarterback. Trevor Lawrence has been playing pretty damn well for a rookie, actually. So wondering what the situation is, I would hope that he would figure that out. If I was a player on that team, I wouldn't be disappointed in him doing whatever he's doing personally. That's your business. You go out and party. If your wife condones that or doesn't condone that, that's something you and your wife are going to handle. That's you guys' private business to handle. But, Coach, how you going to go party after our game? After we've been getting beat so bad, we just got beaten in Ohio, you're going to stay behind and you're going to party. Yeah. And it wasn't like he just had dinner and a couple of drinks. No, he's out there partying. It looked like, the girl looked like she giving him a lap dance.
Yeah.
In the picture I saw.
Yeah.
So he's in there, he's partying and celebrating. And I understand blowing off steam in a certain way, but I mean, come on, man. You're at the professional leagues at the highest peak of the level, and you were brought in to turn this program around, to turn it around. You're partying after being 0-4. I would expect you, if I hired you for all that money I hired you for, I want you to get in there, get to the lab with your coaches, and figure out on this bye week how can we prepare for the next 2 weeks to get things turned around so we can win our next game.
Because he's telling everyone on the squad, get in the playbook. We're watching you, stay focused, stay locked in. He's telling them all those adjectives and all those things about being locked in and ready for the next week, because right now it's an embarrassing season. And for him, the leader of the entire squad, to be out there and caught up in some childish type stuff like that. Yeah, you're right. It's two different, or maybe multiple different stories of what's going to happen between the conversation of him and his wife and him and his family and all that. Not Ohio, but Jacksonville is paying him multi-millions of dollars to hopefully bring a Lombardi. It's not going to happen, but bring them a respectable season.
Exactly.
0-4, even though you got 17 games now in the NFL season, right now it does not look good at all, and this is just going to continue to be a negative outlook for them. And you're right, Trevor Lawrence, man, he's out there, number 1 draft pick. He's trying to do some things. He's looking decent out there against some other good teams, or some good teams. But now you got to rebuild that, right? Now you got to start at the beginning, try to rebuild some of that trust especially with the veterans. I think
what he's done by doing this is now the focus. The focus is shift now. Instead of concentrating on the team and concentrating on wins and concentrating on X's and O's and how to be successful, now we got to concentrate on, hey, coach is out here doing whatever on his wife, or he's out here partying and celebrating after we lost, or just the narrative has changed instead of being focused back on the team is what they brought him in there for. I think Urban Meyer has to understand this is in the college setting, and he's not the biggest dog on the block no more. In college, hey, I'm the big guru. I can do what I want. I won national champions at Ohio State. Well, now you're the low man on the totem pole man in the NFL. And it doesn't matter no more what you've done in college. And now you're not dealing with kids from the ages of 17 to 22. You're dealing with grown men from 22 all the way to 35. So where's your focus at? If I'm a veteran on that team, where's your focus at, coach? Why are you out partying, doing all this stuff? Look, getting lap dances and hugged up on this girl when we're 0-4, trying to figure this thing out, especially when pressing the last year of my contract trying to get paid.
Yeah.
So, I mean, his dynamic and his thought process is kind of, I think, just been off. And I mean, for us have to waste time for you to come in our meetings and have to apologize for us for this kind of behavior, yet you tell us not to do these kind of things and not to have this kind of behavior, and yet you go out and do the same exact thing. Now you're going to have a conflicting messages with your team. From what I understand, at least from some of the media outlets, he's already lost the team. They're not even, he's already lost them. And you can't, in 4 games, you can't do that. Especially being 0-4, you can't do that. So I do believe, I didn't like Urban Meyer as the hire in the beginning, my personal belief. I didn't think he was the right guy for the job. He's more of a college coach than a professional coach. Some people speculate this might be his outlet to get out and go coach at USC. Maybe. I don't know. We don't know what's going to do the all intel of this whole thing. But I believe Urban Meyer is not the good fit for Jackson Jaguars. Not because of this controversial situation. I don't think his X's and O's are right to be on the right job for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And, and I predict that if it gets too hot, he will resign.
Yeah.
He'll walk away.
I don't think he's smart enough to do that, to be honest with you. I think he's too proud. I think he's too much in his own mind and too much of his head, just Urban Meyer, to walk away himself without being told to leave. So we will see. We were talking about this before we went live as well. If it was someone else that was coach, right? If it was
you being nice. If it was a coach of color.
Let me keep talking. Why
you always do the nice spin. Let's keep it real. I'm gonna keep it gangster on this one.
Let me bring it out. It's like wagging the dog. It's like, God, what?
I'm gonna give him an injection. If I truly believe, and we said it before, if it was a black coach in the NFL, I think he would have already been terminated or very, very heavily reprimanded. Especially if it was a black coach with a Caucasian lady doing those same things.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that, if it was a black coach with a black lady in there, I don't think all the cameras would have been in there. Like, they don't do that in the black clubs or the black things where they hang out. It doesn't go down quite just like that does it with TMZ and all that stuff it does with Urban Meyer. But I do believe if it was an African-American coach and there was a young white lady dancing on him outside of his wife, he would be crucified in the media right now. That's my personal opinion. People can have their own opinion about it.
Yeah, he'd have been on the street already, right? He'd have been on the street already, which just like Mel said, it's sad, but it's true. But let me do the TV producing thing and bring it out, right? I got to cut this stuff up into micro content, right? And push it out there. I'm trying to.
I got you, man.
I'm trying to add some flavor. You just want to hit him straight over the dome. You want to hit him like this story that we're going to talk about a little bit later, right? You want to hit him straight on top of the head. But yeah, this is sad. We're not making light of this particular story. It's unfortunate I look at it it's unfortunate from both ends, from his family as well, right? Again, because I showed some of the clips there, and it showed his wife at home taking care of the grandkids. So she's like thinking that her husband's in the office looking at playbooks, trying to figure out how to get that first win, and he's out there at his little bar in Ohio doing whatever he's doing. I think you said that there was some statements or some records as well saying he may have actually tried to swing at the lady or try to.
Yeah. I heard there would have been altercation. At least there was a picture or something out there that was saying that he might have pushed the lady or had a physical altercation with the lady. Man. I mean, I know he didn't physically assault her. He didn't hit her or anything, but I don't know if he pushed at her or swatted at her or some kind of thing like that. They were saying that was some more allegations that was coming out.
Crazy.
That's not confirmed or true, so I don't want to know. I don't want to say that it is or isn't. We all know that's wrong. That's 100% wrong if that's the case. But again, I don't want to. Like I said, I don't really want to concentrate on his personal life because we don't know what goes on behind closed doors with him and his wife. Mm-hmm. Like I said, they could be on on the brink of divorce. They can be on the brink of a separation or whatnot. So what he does with his personal life, I'd rather for that him and his wife to go ahead and deal with that and get that out of the way. Just because you're a public figure doesn't mean you can't have issues in your marriage and your family life. So
true. No, true.
I believe that's okay. He can do what he wants to do in that situation. My problem is you're 0-4 and you're out partying.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be the head of our organization, setting a better example.
Hard-nosed coach like you too, right? Because you've got the reputation of being
anything. That's more of an issue more than anything. And to me, that's more of the bigger issue.
Yeah. Can he get the respect? It's probably not going to happen for a long time. And again, maybe from the youngsters, maybe from the rookies and the first, second years, but the vets are really going to be hard to say, again, coach, they brought you in because you were one of them old school old heads who knew the game and you've been here before, you've won in various locations, and now you're doing what you have told us not to do. And sorry, everybody's always sorry when they get caught.
Yeah, but the crazy part about it, see, that's a good point you bring up. No, that's a good point you bring up because, yeah, he's been successful turning around programs, but that's college programs. Again, you're dealing with a different mentality with 17 to 22-year-olds.
Yeah,
completely different. They know they're 4 years and they're out. They know they're young. They're very impressionable. He's singing that same speech to guys that I said that are 22 to 35 years old. They're not impressed by what your college accolades are. They're not. They're impressed by how can you lead us to some victories and to some wins? Because at the end of the day, that's gonna make their career go higher and higher the more they win. It's gonna rise their stock as far as in the career basis, as far as their salary is concerned, and have successful for the town and the city playing football. And this guy is showing the opposite attitude you should have when you're 0-4. Because let's look at this. If that was a player, one of his players, if that was Trevor Lawrence. Partying after 0-4 at a club, we would be like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be the star quarterback.
Yeah.
And we would crucify him at being the age of 23. We would crucify him for doing that. This dude is a coach who's been there, done that for years, and you're doing exactly what you would tell your players not to do.
Man.
So,
very hypocritical.
Yeah, very hypocritical. Exactly. That's exactly it.
We'll see, man. It's going to continue. It's not going away, and rightfully so. But you know what? When it comes between the lines, what matters? We'll see what happens if they this weekend, right? If they can pull out a W this weekend, then things will start dissipating, right? He can take care of his other stuff, but again, get that first W up there on the board and in the record books. Then we'll see what happens. So.
Hey, you 4-0. If you 4-0, those pictures probably don't even come out.
It's like, what pitches? No, see, but there we go.
Exactly.
Baseball is happening. That's what's happening in football. Baseball is happening. What's going on right now? We've got the National League wild card game with a unthought of matchup. And Cardinals are playing.
Yeah.
The Cardinals, and I know you don't follow baseball, but hopefully you've been at least following some specific stories. There's some specific stories happening this season that matter. Cardinals won 17 games in a row. That's pretty cool, right? And right now they're playing the Dodgers, the last year's champions, and got them tied up, top of the fifth right now, 1-1. So shouts out to St. Louis for going out there and doing what they needed to do and win games and be in a position to be playing in October. That's what every baseball player, every baseball team wants to do. Be still active in October. Shouts out to them San Francisco Giants. My goodness.
Sitting home waiting for somebody to play.
Right. San Francisco Giants, 107 wins this season, franchise record, brought home the National League Division Championship banner. Where's our dude Kevin Cox at in the comments? Because he's a big Giants fan. Maybe he's still slightly intoxicated celebrating. But
yeah. But you know what's interesting? You said about the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah.
I believe they've been the hottest team in the last stretch of the season.
Oh, definitely.
They're the hottest team. The pitching has been very, very impeccable going in. I mean, they don't have a mow down pitching core, but they do got some really crafty guys that pitch the ball very, very well. And they're a bat on bat team. And what I mean, like, they're not all home runs. They get them in chunks. We're gonna single you. We're gonna double you. We're gonna triple you. We're gonna home run back to a single, double. So they get their runs in a lot of ways. And the thing that I like about this whole entire series which is intriguing to me, is that St. Louis got rid of Alex Pujols, years ago when he was, king of the throne in St. Louis.
Because they thought he was washed up. Yeah,
he washed up. Now he's in the Dodgers, and eventually I hope he's going to face him sometime in this game, because it's the game they're going to do it.
Yeah,
I think he's either going to pinch in or he's started at first base. But I think Pujols, it would be interesting to see if he has an impact in this game for payback for his team for losing them. That's an interesting story to me.
Okay,
as far as I'm concerned. But I mean, Dodgers have been probably the most consistent and probably best teams over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But the hottest team in baseball right now is St. Louis.
Definitely. So, yeah. When you can win 17 in a row against some other quality teams as well, look, that's something you need to tip the hat to. So shouts out to them for that. I know last week we talked about some of the teams, and you were asking me about like the Yankees. Aaron Judge and the Yankees sitting down right now. They're planning vacations, right? Them Red Sox.
Where I'm at right now at the house.
the Yankees got eliminated by the Red Sox, so the Sox are going to be playing. I think it's Tampa Bay for the American League Division Series. We'll see how that works out.
I got some stuff on that too. Hold on, I got a little insight on my baseball game.
Let me put you full screen. Talk to us, brother.
No, you ain't gonna put full screen, but it's all good. But I think with baseball, it's funny. The Yankees, and I heard this from one of the commentators, so I'm kind of paraphrasing what she said. The Yankees are a team that need to be restructured, even though they've been a great team for all these years. This particular Yankee teams they're either home run or strikeouts. That's it. That's their batting. They're not a dink or take what you kind of get team. And with that kind of model right there, the probabilities are that you're going to lose more than that, because if you ever get into slump, which the Yankees were in this year, you can lose 4 or 5 games because there's not that home run hitting streak. The Yankees have a hard time getting guys on bases. And I remember me and you talking about it last week. I was telling you that I thought they're 2 through 7, anytime can hit a home run, and that is true. But I didn't take the negative of that whole thing. They also can strike out. I didn't know the Yankees were the most they struck out more than any other team in this year. They're
because they're always. I mean, they're literally always swinging for the fence. Right? They're not trying to hit for the cycle. They're not trying to tear them apart, kind of like the Cardinals, right? They're not looking for the double or the single.
Yeah.
You got someone like Scranton, and you got someone like Judge. They're always trying to hit that 400-foot bomb.
Exactly. So I thought that was really interesting. Tell that. Yeah, they hit the most home runs collectively as a team, but they also got the most strikeouts.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow. So that's very critical when you get into a series.
Yeah.
Because once you can get one up on them and start striking them out, you already know that once you get a lead, if the bats don't start hitting that ball far, most likely they're going to be out of the game. They don't even coach to that magnitude of the game. They don't know how to get guys on base and start to strategize when it comes, because they're so used to having the big play to get them out of the when they're stuck in a rut or they're stuck in a situation. They're so used to somebody hitting a home run to pull them back up out. And when it doesn't happen, it happened. The tail comes like it is. Boston moves on and they're at home.
But it was so close. Playing in Boston, and some of those hits by Carlos should have been in any other field would have been home runs.
Not the monster, baby. That monster.
Man, when you hit it off of that big wall and it should have gone out. And in 99.9% of any other stadium, it would have been a home run. But sorry about that, y'all. And I love the Yankees. I'm an old school legacy. I'm an old Joe Torre guy. Yeah. Joe Torre used to be, he's
the manager of the Yankees. Yeah.
Back in the day. So I'm a Joe Torre guy, just for his managerial and his strategy perspective. But it hasn't looked good for them for the past few years. But rebuilding year. We'll see what happens next year.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Keep it up in the comments, folks. I see folks joining in. Look, we are only streaming on YouTube tonight. I'm trying to figure something out. I'm upset with Facebook because Zuckerberg had his entire environment go down yesterday because someone blew up their routing protocols. So I don't like being I don't like being owned by Facebook. I'd rather own I own this content, right? I can pull this down and I can do whatever I want to. I don't own anything on Zuck's platform. So we'll see what happens. Pulling everybody to YouTube right now, and we'll see how that works. Basketball.
Yes, sir.
Preseason is on right now. Teams are doing a little something. Sacramento Kings trying to do a little something. I got to get a little. I can't even do it with I can't even say it with a straight face. Sacramento Kings trying to do something, but hopefully they get it together. It's preseason right now. We definitely want to be ringing them cowbells and hopefully getting some wins in our column as well. But on the other side of basketball and the WNBA, their season is over for most of the teams right now, primarily Atlanta. The Atlanta Dream don't want to go just sit down and get ready for next season. There was a couple of ladies on the team that got into some fisticuffs. Mm-hmm. Oh, hold on. This is another one. Yeah, see, I was going to talk about this story too, right? Because Kennedy got released as well. But and this could be kind of a telltale sign of what's going on in Atlanta. So 2 Dream players involved in a fight near a popular Atlanta food truck. The story is just 2 weeks after the end of a disappointing season for the Atlanta Dream, 2 of its players were involved in a large scuffle. In a video posted to Twitter this Sunday, Dreams players Courtney Williams and Crystal Bradford are involved in a large physical altercation with several others. I'm not going to show the video because the video is brutal. These women are putting them up. These women are doing the Malice in the Palace kind of things. They are doing the Ron Artest type of thing, and it really did not look good at all. So if you want to take a look at the video yourselves, just go out there and Google Atlanta Dream brawl.
Yeah, as I'm chuckling behind because, like you said, it was Rumble in the Palace and all that stuff, but they need to hold themselves to a higher standard. I mean, what this fight and thinking about it and understanding it, what do their young female fans think of something like this?
Yeah.
You know, at this point, you're a professional athlete, and I believe, and I know they know they're going to get scrutinized, criticized outside the field, talked about, and whatever they want to be. But you got to be above that and walk away from situations like that and not get yourself in this situation because they do have a fan base. Yeah. They do have young ladies that look up to them. Mm-hmm. This is not a way that you conduct yourself as a professional athlete outside in the public, brawling like no other in this kind of situation. It's not a good look. It's not a good look not only for just the Atlanta Dream, but it's not a good look for the WNBA at all. It's not warranted for to have this kind of violence and be able to, with social media, whether to be able to blast out so many people can see it. It's something definitely not to be proud of or be admirable about. This is just a disappointing situation happening. The first one that I know of in the WNBA, to be honest with you.
Exactly, right? I mean, and these ladies were definitely scrapping, and I'm using all the terms that I can right there, scrapping, brawling, and all this. But again, I'll make the statement again, and here's Courtney Williams coming out on Twitter after the whole situation saying, I will be better moving forward, right? Again, everyone wants to apologize once they get caught. Everyone wants to say, I'm sorry, I'm better than this, I should be better than this, y'all pray for me, Lord is not done with me yet. I'm tired, honestly, of hearing all of those types of statements by folks. Everyone knows better. And again, when you get caught, when it's on video, you being a professional athlete, you're being filmed. You're just going to the food truck to get something to eat, but folks are saying, oh, there go Courtney Williams right there. They're going to have the cameras out. And then they get into an altercation about whatever. We don't know what it was about. But then sure enough, as soon as you get called by your GM from the organization talking about you've made an embarrassing mess of this entire thing, then everybody wants to apologize. So, yeah, again, they should be better than this. But
you know what's crazy about this, though? Like, just that tweet, and that's the first time I read it here on the screen. Mm-hmm. To me, if I was sincerely understood that it wasn't my fault why I got in the fight, or I thought I was defending myself, that's not what I write. That's not what I write. If I was defending myself in a situation, that's not what I write. I don't say I sincerely apologize for the blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I was defending myself. Someone came at me, and I felt I had a right to defend myself. That's what I would say because I was standing up for what I believed in. To this is admitting kind of almost, not admitting omission that you were wrong, but definitely that you were involved.
Yeah.
And you didn't do anything to kind of either de-escalate the situation, or that you wasn't, or you were kind of part of the cause as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I would sincerely, hey, if me and you were somewhere out, James, and someone came at us and someone caught us on film fighting, I'd be like, look, this dude was belligerent and drunk, and he took a swing at us.
Yeah.
So I defended myself. So I'm not going to apologize for defending myself. I would apologize if the guy didn't do anything. He was just drunk and belligerent, and then we started jumping and them beating him up. I'd be like, man,
yeah.
Look, please pray for me, man. I apologize.
I'm sorry I had to put them hands on him, right? Because look, let's go ahead and be real. So I'll be real right here too down. Back in the day, I think my dad is, oh my God, he's still watching too. Look, back in the day, I done did some things too. Got caught up in some situations and either instigated a little fisticuffs or been part of one. But I never, after that, went back and said, oh, I'm sorry that we got caught up in something or whatever the case may be. These, again, multi-million-dollar earning professional athletes who know they're part of the public eye. And then you got all these people around. You're as the story says, you're at a popular food truck location in the city of Atlanta, in your city where you play. Just because someone comes up to you and probably says, y'all were terrible this season. Who knows what came out of it, right? Or why it started. But I can guarantee you it was not enough for them to be putting them hands on someone like these ladies did.
We're going to keep it real.
Yeah.
Now it's affecting your dollars.
Oh, definitely.
Now it's going to affect your dollars. This situation, right? And this is, I mean, like I said, if you guys just choose to watch it, it's pretty graphic, and really a big time brawl. But I'm saying something like this now affects your dollars, affects the team's image, which is going to affect their dollars.
Yeah.
This affects sponsors from giving money.
Oh, yes.
Dollars again. So all these things are coming into play for your 5-minute brawl that you want to catch on TV. We got to use better common sense in these situations. Now, this would be different if this was a midst of a game, like you said, the brawl in the Madison Palace.
Yeah.
That happened in the midst of a game. That was
True.
inside the game, confined to the game. This is you're out there on the street. You're fighting out there like, as they would say, common thugs out there. You out there just brawling and fighting anybody you meet up against. Thank God that nobody gets stabbed or hurt, because we know how the situations end up.
Keep talking. I'll show a little bit of it, because again, that's enough. That's enough. Yeah. But again, that's Courtney right there, throwing them hands like that, and again, she's definitely letting out quite a bit of aggression for someone cut in front of her to get their tacos at the food truck line. But there's I don't get it.
The social impact, I think of this could have turned out a lot worse than just these brawls, this fight.
Yeah.
Because as everybody comes from those situations, when someone starts, the loser usually says, hey, I'm going to the trunk.
Yeah.
Or I'm grabbing something.
Yeah.
Now, can you imagine being a professional athlete that's getting paid money to play in front of TV and all these other kids and everything? You get stabbed at the food truck because you got into an argument.
Doesn't make no sense, right?
You
get caught up in some foolishness, and everyone. So, a side story that may come out of this: everyone that was injured or says that they were injured out of this is going to blame the Atlanta Dream players, and there's going to be some lawsuits about that. Courtney hit me, or Courtney swung at me. She wasn't wearing a mask. Now I think I got COVID. Yep. All these types of ramifications could be coming out of this situation. And obviously in the heat of the moment, whatever it is, they don't think about that. But this is the domino effect of probably what's going to happen because of this situation.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
So it's unfortunate, man, it has to go over there. But I'm talking about the most disappointing is the role model part. Those young ladies, regardless they want to believe it, they play basketball at the professional level, they're role models. And I'm not saying a role model has to be perfect. I'm not saying a role model shouldn't have to do certain things. But a role model definitely can't get themselves in a physical altercation like this, a professional in these kind of situations. You got to have a better way to handle yourself and get yourself up out of there.
That's true. Shouts out. And here he is right there. Brother Cox is in the building. Cox, yeah. We were talking about the Giants. I don't know if you were here, man. You missed it. You came when we started talking about these ladies fighting, man. You never know what we're going to talk about on Team No Sleep. But we will see how this works out. Let's see, Mr. Cox is saying, who's got weapons on them in that situation? Mess with the wrong person, and it's all wrong for everyone. Exactly, right? Because again, that if you come from the streets or if you've been out there in some situations, look, I've been in Vallejo a few times too, where Just be careful out there, brother, because there's some folks out there that have nothing to lose, right? And I think that's the best way to put it. There's some folks who have nothing to lose, and if they realize, oh, you know what, this is one of the Atlanta Dreams players. Oh,
I got a question for you, James. I got a good question for you, James. Think about this though.
Yeah.
You being a professional athlete, and we get in an altercation, right?
Okay.
What makes me not think that you, being a professional athlete, slated by the world, as a great athlete, don't have the power or the position to kill me where I can't defend myself, or hurt me very bad where I have to defend myself by getting a weapon? I can feel, if you're a professional athlete, if a football player attacked me, I could be like, I feel threatened. I had to use a gun. The WNBA women are they're big women, bigger than the average woman.
Yeah, 6'5", I think is what Courtney is. So
can you imagine an average woman or a woman just in the average range getting punched on by somebody 6'5"? What I'm asking, do you think, I'm speaking out of the, she would have an argument in court that she was justified in doing whatever action she had to do to get that 6'5" woman off of her?
True.
Whether it was to grab a weapon, whether it was to go get whatever. That's what I'm saying. They put themselves in such a bad situation by doing that, and you're deemed a professional athlete. So that means you're the fit of the fit. You're the best of the best.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're very lucky in that situation that somebody didn't do something. Somebody didn't grab something. Somebody didn't try to stab anything. Somebody didn't do it. Because if we're in the court of law, they would have justification of why they wanted to pull that person or why they had to get that person off them.
That is true.
In any kind of way.
Yeah, that is true. Luckily, there was some security there that started breaking it up, and it didn't escalate beyond too much of a melee. There was definitely some injuries, right? Again, just looking at a lot of those swings from Courtney did land. So I would just say that Mr. Cox coming in, men or women professionals are not your average person. Good point, right? But again, this is not going to flush out well for anybody that was involved. There's going to be some conversations. There's going to be lawsuits. There's going to be some loss of pay. It's going to hit them where it hurts, right there in the pocketbook as well. But it's unfortunate. Wish it didn't happen. It did happen. We got to talk about it, and we had to bring the social impact piece of it, of the reality of it. Hopefully people learn. Hopefully they learn. I mean, again, and we're preaching to the choir. We're you and me. We're not any better than anyone, but I think we just know better, right? Again, there's been times where someone has cut me off on the road, and I've wanted to go and do some things to them as well, but now you got something to lose, right? Now we have something to lose, and either it be financial, either it be your freedom, either it be your family, whatever the case may be. But now that there's ramifications to your actions, and again, being someone in the spotlight, you should know better than to fight over corn versus flour tortillas.
I saw that comment too. That's cold, boy.
Melanie coming in with the peanut gallery stuff.
But if you think about what she's saying, though, think about it. What could you possibly say to me at a taco shop that wants me to have an all-out brawl made?
I don't get it.
Like you said, you cut a line, you order extra salsa.
You know what I'm saying? You grab the last of the napkins or whatever. Shouts out to look, team corn tortilla right here. Look,
there you go.
Look, if I had snatched the last corn tortilla from Mel's plate, well, I'm sure she.
That's just,
she would have something to say. I'm sure she would have something to say for sure. Let me bring this other screen up, and we'll just pass on it. But I think it's telling of what's happening. I brought it up earlier mistakenly, but again, this is just telling of what's happening with the Atlanta Dream organization, right? They're releasing players already for conduct unbecoming. What was the statement? Due to conduct detrimental to the team. Don't nobody know. We don't know what that was, but this was the statement that was released back in July when Chenedy, hopefully I'm probably butchering her name right, but Chenedy Carter was released indefinitely. Now, you had to do something, multiple strikes to be removed from the team indefinitely for conduct detrimental to the team. But again, she's gone indefinitely. Now you got these two star players having these issues. So Atlanta Dream is just not looking good right now. Hopefully they figure something out. Oh my God, look at this! All the guac is gone. Let see y'all. I'm gonna pray for y'all. Y'all gonna cause some trouble up in there.
Man, I really, it's kind of sad, man. I mean, because like I said, these are supposed to be strong African American women that are big influences in our community, and for them to be in this kind of in this negative limelight is not. It's just not a good tale, man. Especially in Atlanta. We've all been in Atlanta.
Yep.
Very highly African American community this year, so I'm pretty sure they have some influence, definitely over young ladies with basketball. So just to be able to show this kind of mentality, man, is really, really a strike. And I applaud the WNBA in cleaning it up, because you can't have that on your business. You just can't do it. As much as people want to start keep it real, and you got to do what you got to do. Hey, keeping it real and all that don't pay the bills.
That don't keep the lights on. That don't keep the lights on.
That's played by corporate America. Corporate America doesn't shine themselves in that light.
Yeah.
So for them to put that negative stigma on Atlanta Dream, and on themselves as players, professional players, I think it's going to be something that's going to be hard for them to shake. They already get a negative stigma being in the WNBA compared to the NBA, and the fact that they're women playing in the professional sports. There's already knocks on them already, and ladders they got to climb and barriers they got to break open. This is just going to be one more, obstacle they got to get over, man, which I wish they didn't have to go through.
Yeah, you're right. Shouts out to the troll that just came in, who just got banned. I guess you're not winning unless you got some haters or some trolls.
You got to. Yeah. I like to hear their comments. Them the ones that fuel me. I love to hear the trolls comments.
No, it's too late. They already been banned. I need, so Brother Cox, I need to make you a moderator. I think Mel is a moderator on the channel already too, but we'll see about that. Yeah. Let me see before we go on to the next question here. So extra responsibility being in Atlanta with that community, whether you liked it or not. Exactly. Yep. And I think that's everywhere, right? So we could just say it's the professional athletes, but again, Kevin, you walking down your streets, you've got a responsibility to conduct yourself properly, just like Montel and I do, just like everyone watching and listening as well. So again, there's just more scrutiny on you when there's cameras on you, when you're gonna be on ABC News, everything that you do, positive or negative. So
it makes me laugh, because could you imagine Facebook employees getting in a big scrap with Google at the taco truck? They'd be like, man, what kind of madness is going on? You know what I mean? I mean,
your whole network went down 2 days ago. We're gonna get you. Yeah.
You'd be like, man, what? But I mean, you would be like, that don't even make sense.
Don't even sound right coming out your mouth, brother. Don't even. All right.
ABC was brawling with NBC at the food court.
Now I can see maybe CNN and Fox maybe getting into some fisticuffs. Now I might pay for that one. I tell you what, I might pay for CNN and the Fox fisticuffs. But
man, but they got to clean that up, man. Atlanta, they got to clean that on up, man. I wish those young ladies the best. I hope they get everything together.
That's true. We got 2 stories left, and one's not a good story, but I want to have a good story, and then have the one that's unfortunate, and then I want to end on that one IG story that I told you about last week that we didn't go into. That was pretty cool, that little piece of art. But before we get into that, look, folks, again, we trying to do some things. We like to have fun. We like to talk about things that are relevant. We talk a little bit of sports scores when it makes sense. 1-to-1 still with them Cardinals and those Dodgers, but we definitely dive into that social impact of all of these topics that we get into, just like this Atlanta Dream story, just like the Urban Meyer story, right? And we really break some of that down and try to make it relevant to you, our audience. So if you like what we're talking about, subscribe, tell a friend. If you don't like what we're talking about, tell us.
Subscribe and tell a friend.
tell us, that too, but tell us so we can definitely improve, because our role here is to be servants to the community. So we enjoy doing what we're doing, but there really is a purpose for this, and we think the messages that we talk about aren't shared enough, and we are trying to make those messages known to the community. So there we go. Hit that like button. There, you see, I'm definitely gonna make her a moderator here before we shut down.
Yeah, Melanie's on point. Melanie and Cox are both on point. I like them.
Those are folks. When the world opens back up, there, I'm gonna buy some scotch for them when we meet up. So no, Kevin, when the Giants win, this is what I wanted to say. Okay, here I'm all over the place, right? My prediction for the World Series. I have one. What's yours?
You want mine?
I want yours first because I've always got to spread mine out into like a
I'm
long.
going with the Giants versus the Red Sox. Giants in 6.
All right, that's not bad. That's not bad. All right, so my World Series pick, and you know I like a story, would be the Giants and the Astros. So the Giants can play against Dusty Baker. Or so Dusty can play against the Giants. I would love to see Dusty get a chance to go head to head against his old team. So hopefully that works out. We'll see how that goes.
I got you.
There we go. That's a good storyline. I had to get that out there. Yeah, I had to get that out there.
That's a good storyline. There you go.
All right, next story. Good story. Racing. Bubba Wallace had a tough year last year, right? With the noose situation in Talladega, in his garage, and then the whole issue with that. The only thing that came out of that, we saw a lot of the drivers many of the drivers circle around him and actually show some support for that situation there. I don't think there's actually been a solidification or any news that has come out of that in terms of finding out really who hung that noose in his garage. But his team won. Or let me say this, Michael Jordan's team won. Michael Jordan has a team, has a driving team. He's only got one driver right now. That one driver is Bubba Wallace. And Bubba actually won his first NASCAR race the other day. It was called short due to rain, but you know what? A win is a win, is a win, is a win. He was in front when it was called, and shouts out to Bubba Wallace for winning his first race in Talladega, where everything broke off last season, right? So I really think that this is an amazing story. It's good to see the Jordan team win after only 1 year of owning the team, right? Anything Jordan touches seems to turn to gold. Well, everything except them Charlotte Hornets. But it's good to see a lot of goodness happen out of this situation there, man. Talk to us what you think about this, the story behind this right here.
Talk about full circle. I mean, you got to talk about full circle from the controversy 2 years ago to now him being in the situation, winning. He was leading, and people don't know, he was leading from the beginning to the end. It wasn't like he jumped in front. Yeah. He was leading from the beginning to the end. He is now breaking new grounds for us.
Oh yeah,
you know, in that realm. I don't know if anyone that's listening has been to a NASCAR race. I personally haven't, but I got some friends that have, and I drove by the one outside of Vegas. There's that little like going towards Dixie. They do some NASCAR, so Grand Prix racing over there. That is a cult following.
Yes, sir.
None other of you guys don't know. That is a big cult following. I think the experience of going to one is really more important than, you know, and the race as well. But the experience going to one and what they do, like going to the Kentucky Derby, it's an experience. This is what the NASCAR thing is, and I think Bubba's now going to be that face that attracts more, I think, African Americans and men of color to get into that arena of race car driving. You know, it's not like he's the only one person of color that likes to drive fast and drive in race cars. I'm sure he's going to be now that spokesperson to be able to open that door and open more and kick down some doors and barriers for guys to get in, and so they can drive at that highest level. I used to, when I was young, say, "Oh, that's not even a sport." But you try driving 500 miles in 2 hours, you see how
I barely keep the wheels straight going 80 or whatever the speed limit is. Yeah.
So them dudes are they're very talented. I mean, and Bubba, I think he's the right person, man. Like you said, you got to go through. I always tell everyone you have to go through hell in order to enjoy what heaven is.
Wow.
He went through hell.
Love that.
With that noose, and he went through hell and all the controversy and everything going there and not being successful to come full circle in 2 years now to be the man on top. Now he's enjoying his heaven.
I love it.
So I'm more shouts out to him.
Yeah, I love this statement as well too, because it kind of goes in line with what you were saying. Bubba could be the Tiger Woods of racing, of getting more people to want to go do this, right? Look, when Tiger started winning everything too, I was out there talking about I am Tiger Woods trying to win. I would love to see more of a diverse lineup out there at the pole position, right?
But you know what's going to be crazy? Because Bubba's the face of it, but it is a team sport in that arena what they're dealing with, because the people that work on the cars.
Yeah.
So now it will open more doors for men of color that fix on cars or want to be in that kind of arena. It's going to open up a whole different things for, I think, more dynamic teams to get involved, and hopefully more celebrities get involved of color to want to promote their sport or promote their thing in that arena as well. You know, I would love to see Serena Williams and Venus Williams hopefully own a team. I would love to see Usher and them guys own a team. I would even love to see Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre own a team if possible.
Yeah.
I would love them to own teams and be out there to be able to promote more diverse things, to be out there and be in that whole following and kind of hopefully integrate in that culture so we can be a part of it as well. Because, man, you know, it seems nothing but big things. NASCAR is making money. You know, we're going to talk about the business, and NASCAR is making money. Grand Prix are making money. Indy race cars are making money.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that now minority ownership, not just black and brown and everything in between, should be able to hopefully kick down doors and get in. And this is going to be a gateway. I think Bubba's going to be a gateway to get in. It shouldn't just be Michael Jordan.
I agree. But it takes real money. So I've been to a couple of Indy car races, and I've been fortunate to be in the paddock, so down there with the drivers and with the crews. Back when I was working with Hewlett Packard, I had the opportunity to go down there and take care of some things. But it takes Jordan type money. It takes. If we want to talk, you know, black entertainers or black celebrities, it takes Magic Johnson, it takes Jay-Z, Beyonce type money to get in there and say you want to own a team or be part ownership. I mean, this is not just, this isn't play money to get in there, own a team, own a car, own all of the ancillary things that go along with it. But folks are out there that can do this, and if we just pool our resources together, Jordan doesn't have to be the last. He can be the first. That's fine. Bubba doesn't have to be the last. He doesn't have to be the first and the last. Like what Danica Patrick did for women out there racing, and when she won, skyrocketed her career, right? Because again, she was just out there, and it was cool to see her out there competing against the guys going around the track. But then when she won, man, it was just so cool to see that happen, right? Just that kind of opened it up from
this is the part that I don't want to happen.
Yeah.
I don't want it to have the negative Tiger Woods effect, because since Tiger Woods won and was the black icon in golf, we haven't had another one coming in. We haven't had that young other black African-American people coming in, whether they've been blocked out purposely or not purposely, or we lost interest in becoming professional golfers or whatnot. Hopefully that doesn't happen. You know, tennis, Serena and them, they've opened up the door, and now we have Naomi and all them are coming up. So tennis is getting its just due. There's more coming in, feeding in there. I hope in this racing, the Bubba's not the only one, and then he's rising to the sunset, and we don't see another African-American driver in this team for another 25 years or 30 years of getting in. I hope this kicks down doors and opens some more doors for more to kind of start to get themselves in. And that's why I was mentioning entertainers. Hopefully they can sponsor some dollars and put some dollars in there to say, hey, this is what we want to bring into this industry. Because the Tiger Woods effect, again, it was great when it started. Everybody wanted to get out there swing the clubs. We couldn't wait. But we haven't had a young African-American, a young Latino, or a young Filipino come in and scoop that up and take the reins at that point. It's just been nonchalant. It's been Tiger and everybody else, you know, with a few Japanese and Chinese people that have been in there as well. Yeah. But we haven't broken down all those racial barriers in golf just yet.
Not in golf, but bringing it back to racing. Now we've got two black folks that are at the top of the podium, right? So, and I wanted to make sure I had his name right, and I know his name, but I wanted to make sure. Lewis Hamilton, right, from Great Britain. He is amazing on the Formula One circuit. So everything he touches, he wins. So he's amazing up there doing his thing, and now we got Bubba Wallace out there doing his thing. Hopefully he continues. Hopefully from a momentum perspective, he just keeps. Winning and doing this thing. I know Jordan's team is talking about signing Kyle Busch to the squad as well. So he's actually going to be a racer. So the team has got definitely some relevance with some name brands and some big names out there. So hopefully to see that continue and just to grow and to evolve. And again, just wanted to give shouts out to Bubba for getting the champagne bath, or what do they do at Talladega? Do they drink a whole thing of milk? Is that what they do? I don't like milk, man.
I think you drink milk or something like that.
I'd have to go with the scotch, though. Shouts out to I don't know what I'm drinking, but I'm drinking some scotch here. I'm not going to the gym tonight, but I'm drinking some scotch.
I feel you, man. I feel you on that one.
All right. Cardinals, bottom of the sixth, still 1-1, it looks like. I keep watching it because this is a relevant match here. I really don't want to go into this bad story because we keep talking about stories that are like this, and I don't even know where to start. So, Aaron Lowe, gentleman who used to play for University of Utah. The reason he doesn't play for University of Utah anymore because he was shot and killed at a party not too long ago, last month. Didn't know who it was for a little while, but now we have authorities have actually identified the person who they always say assumed do it or suspected it. This guy did it. All right, so got that person locked up now. But the fact of the matter is, the person who did go to the party, he was not invited to the party. For one, ended up having a gun with him. Ended up shooting Lowe and a young lady. Young lady is in the hospital. She's in kind of severe condition herself. But the suspect, named Buck Muwat Buck, has a long history of criminal activity, either theft, larceny, burglary, just harassment. He is a native of, where is he native of? Senegal, I believe. That's relevant because his birth records aren't even completely known. So the man is here as a refugee. He is not making himself a positive person within society. He's just been out there really just living off of the system. From everything that I've read, again, do your own research here, but from what I'm seeing from the story, so the gentleman, right, it's not doing what he needs to be doing, going to school, getting a proper job, being a positive member of society, and now he's out there causing ruckus, breaking a lot of laws, robbing people, stealing people. He's got some cases where he was supposed to buy an iPhone off of a lady, and instead of giving him the money, he just snatches the phone from her and runs off. So again, a long rap sheet. Community is asking, why was the man even still on the streets after some of those other lesser crimes? Because they were escalating in terms of severity, and now he's gotten to the point where it's now he's charged with murder, not aggravated assault, but actually murder now. And again, why was he on the street? It's just that's another sad story of where we're seeing an athlete who was at this party. He was invited to the party. It was supposed to be a small party, but then someone came in from the outside, caused some trouble, ended up taking this man's life, cutting it short. He had a bright future playing professional sports, and now it is nil. It's a sad situation, man. What did you read out of this? And I know you brought this story to me. I'm just wondering what else you saw besides what I brought up about the situation.
I think you hit it all in the head. I mean, this Buke, my Woot, Buke, or however you pronounce his last name.
Yeah, here's a picture of him.
AKA coward. I think he's a coward. He's a coward to be able to do this situation. I mean, this happens one too many times in our communities.
Yeah.
And I'll be personal, and I'll share some of my personal story. This happened to me. My brother was killed by someone at a party.
Okay.
My older brother. He was killed in Freeport, California. He was killed. He was murdered. Same similar situation at a party, small little house party. Some gentleman in there, they got into a verbal exchange, and this gentleman felt he had to pull a gun and kill my brother, just like this gentleman felt he needed to kill this young man, Aaron Lowe. It's sad, and my brother's been passed away for years. My brother's been passed away for at least 25 years. So this has been at least 25 years going on. Mm-hmm. This happens in our community all the time.
Yeah.
It only gets shed light when it happens to an athlete. Now with social media, it gets a little bit more shed light, but it sheds light when it's an athlete or an entertainer and when it happens to. But we can go along the line. It happened to Pop Smoke, the rapper in LA. Yeah. It happened to all these other entertainers and all these other people that this situation happens. And I don't know the whole answer what's going on, but it's tiring to see guys like this, habitual criminals that are out on the street. And I'm all about reform to a certain degree. You know, there's a certain degree where there is no reform. And I know he's done a lot of petty crimes that you said might have led up to this one incident. But I mean, we have to have some type of system in place in our communities, man. I mean, people think places like Chicago and places like this that are very riddled with a lot of criminal activity. There's also a lot of lack of resources. You rob the people that you're around. You know, people say, "Why don't they go out there to do this to other people?" No, you steal and you pillage and you do things to people that you're surrounded by. Because that's what you know.
Yeah.
You don't go outside your confines to do that. This young man, you know, he's in his so-called community and he committed this crime. Someone that either threatened him or challenged him, and he felt he needed to do that in order to prove himself. It's sad. And I bet you in that same situation, that young man had lack of resources. He had lack of people saying, lack of people trying to help him, lack of people trying to get, you know, lack of people trying to do things for him to make it right, for him to see another light, to shed some light on the situation.
Yep.
It's not a Butte thing. It's not a person to murder. We have a societal problem in our communities that we don't address. And it happens prevalently in Black and brown. You know, and I understand you're saying strikes and everything, but I can't fault a person when they're 12 years old and they commit a crime. That person can't be reformed, especially if it's not a capital crime. If it's something stealing or maybe got into a fight, because law likes to label things differently. I can get into a fisticuffs with you, James, and that says assault. Really, it's just a disagreement, and we happen to just throw a few punches. It's not really assault. I wasn't trying to kill you. I wasn't assaulting you. So I'm not going to fault people when they get too young, but I do believe there needs to be programs in place or interventions in place to stop that behavior when you start to see it going on, especially from a young standpoint.
Yeah.
We don't have that in our communities. We don't have resources. We don't have jobs. We don't have things to have activities to keep these people occupied. There's no more band programs. There's no more after-school programs. There's hardly any rec centers that are around. There's no more after-school basketball programs for kids that they can't make the varsity or JV level. There's nowhere for them to go. So if I have no opportunity to go, there's nowhere for me to work. I have no opportunity for me to get a job because people are not hiring or not hiring because I don't have enough of a skill set. My education is subpar, what I'm getting. My mom is working 2 jobs upon to put food on the table. I may or may not have a father figure. I have all these different things I gotta go through, and I'm angry. And my way is lashing out is this. And there's no one telling me how to deal with my anger. There's no one telling me how I can make better decisions. There's no one telling me doing this. I'm figuring out on this on my own. Now, I think the man's a coward for bringing a gun for any situation like that, especially when you're in a party setting, you're doing that. I don't agree with Butte, but I'm saying Butte's story is not the first, and they won't be the last.
That's true. And I completely agree with that, and appreciate you for bringing out, you know, the personal side and your relation to, you know, to this type of a situation right here. But yeah, Butte, and brought this up here again, born in Sudan, and then the fact that back a number of years ago, he was kicked out of one of the programs for having contraband on him. And where is it?
But see, that's misleading though. Contraband could be he could have had a joint on. I don't know what contraband is. I mean, that's another thing. Where's the transparency? If we're gonna be honest with these kind of stories and do things, let's be honest with what you have. Because contraband could be I had something that just wasn't allowed in the facilities, which could be I can't have a lighter. A lighter could be considered contraband. A lighter can't kill me. It's not going to kill me. It's not going to kill you. But a lighter could be considered contraband because it's something that's not allowed in the facilities. I want to know what he had in order to say, you know what, stop. You know, did he have a gun? Did he have a knife? Did he have drugs? Did he have something that I knew that could harmfully work? Because those kind of words like that are very misleading when it comes to our youth figuring out what's going on. You know, I can have if I go into the courtroom, or I go into a court and I have a metal toothpick, that's the steel kind.
Yeah,
that could be considered contraband.
Because
I can poke somebody out and all that. That's contraband.
That's true.
So I also think that there's a responsibility on that side as well. Let's either be completely transparent or not being transparent. But using misleading words to give people the wrong idea what things are not in favorable of anyone. It doesn't weigh out on anybody. Don't get my words twisted. I think Butte is a coward for what he did. I think he was a troubled young man that now he's going to have to pay the ultimate price with his life in prison. And he took another person's life, so it's going to affect 2 families. But I'm saying there's a bigger problem than just Butte. Butte didn't happen.
He's not the only one. He's not the first. He's not the last, unfortunately. And there should be some societal things around it to get in front of this before it escalates to this. And the only thing that I was trying to do, I was trying to show an unfortunate pattern, right? So got caught up with something, and then again, as you can read the story that I got on screen, he got caught up stealing phones from people. He got caught up stealing the bag of tools and making the man's dog yelp in pain. So then he got charged with a Michael Vick type of thing, right? Animal cruelty. So so there's a lot of stuff, and there should have been some red flags somewhere between.
Yes.
I don't know who it is. CPS. I know in the military, my dad used to call it social actions, right? Just someone to intervene, to help people on that path. But to use a Kevin Cox statement, before they get too many of them strikes.
Yeah, or remove them from the situation. Like,
or there you go.
Like, I can't stop them. Then you got to be removed. You are a detriment to society. You need to go to jail.
Yeah.
But there needs to be something in place to kind of to do that, and we don't. I think there's flaws and there's issues within not only community programs. There's flaws within the judicial system.
Always,
there's just flaws all within this, and then we say, oh, why did this happen? It's those flaws that we don't catch, that we ignore in our society and in our system, that leads to situations like this. I feel so bad for the Lowe family.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel terribly, terribly sad for them, because you have a promising young man that was going to do something great, whether it was football in his community. He was going to be an educated African-American man to be able to give something back to his community. And now all that's been taken away because of this guy right here. Probably self-hates himself and hates the situation he was in, and decided to take his hate out on somebody else. It's a sad moment, and this story is told too many times in our communities. It's told too many times in Chicago, Sacramento's, now Salt Lake City's, in LA, Miami. This story is everywhere. This happens all the time, man. And like I said, the light is only shine on it because, fortunately, this guy's an athlete to put some shine on it. But this happens to the average Joe all the time,
every single day,
like
right?
this.
I mean, and I think that's how, and the reason why I started that way, right? I mean, it's tiresome to keep talking about these kinds of things, but the only time we talk about it is when it's not just the person around the corner or the person. We don't talk about it when it's your brother.
Yeah,
we talk about it when it's someone like an Aaron Lowe, who again is in the spotlight. And for this picture right here, he's number 22 in the middle. This was one of the shots of him when he was with his team back in the day. So it's unfortunate. This guy is not going to be hopefully harming anyone else. The gentleman who did this heinous deal. Hopefully the other lady who was shot and who was in critical, I don't know if she's in critical condition, but she's in serious condition. Hopefully she pulls through okay. But it's not good. And then it happened again in a place that you probably wouldn't think about, right? Salt Lake City, Utah. Not like you said, not the streets of Chicago, not the streets of Oakland, DC.
Yeah.
Who want to fight in Salt Lake City? But
I mean,
or you know what I mean? But
I think that shows a telling. I'm sorry to cut you off, James.
No,
but I think that shows a telling tale of that how poverty is striking everywhere. Poverty is striking everywhere. These places, there's pockets in Seattle and all these other places. Places like Seattle, where the most richest company in the world, Microsoft, is existing at, right north of that area. But you still have pockets of areas where there's poverty. I mean, when you have the have-nots. The have-nots going to do whatever they do to have.
Wow, that's a good point.
They're going to do whatever they do to have. At one point, I mean, at one point you get frustrated, tired, and you need to lash out because of your anger. These are the situations that happen, and it's funny because I'm saying these things because with all the psychiatrists we know and all the people we know, my boy James that came on not too long ago, who works in the prison system, who's a psychiatrist for the prison. We know the answer. We've been knowing the answer, what deters from people action like this, but we as a society do nothing to fix it. We know in these neighborhoods that poor education and lack of opportunity leads to disparity. So when you despair, you do drastic things in order to get out of it. Well, that's whether committing criminal activity to make sure you have what you see on TV. Those things are facts. Those happen all the time.
True.
Why aren't we fixing one of those points so we know it changes that equation? We do nothing to change that equation. But yet we will, athletes will go build a teen center. Nothing wrong with that, and I get it. But what about giving money to education? Athletes and entertainers will go do some outrageous thing. They'll go buy, and I'll use his name because I don't really like him. Kanye West will go rent out the Atlantic Falcons Dome Stadium every night for $1 million a night for like 9 nights, where he spent $9 million. When you could do exactly what you did in a hotel for maybe $100,000, which is an exquisite hotel, and use $8 million to give back to that community so they can fix things up. You know what I mean? If you're a billionaire, those are the things you want to do. There's so many resources and people have out there that could give back to just help 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these people so they don't end up in this situation. But yet it just doesn't happen that way. And I'm not just talking about Kanye. We have other entertainers and other people that are very prevalent in other communities that have a lot of money. But I know they do their own part and they think they're doing some things and they're doing something. But I do believe you need to monitor where your money goes in those situations. Does it go to the right place? Is it doing it the right thing? Is it affecting the right people? Because as you can see, it just doesn't. And there's no such thing as not enough. Every dime, every penny counts. Right. And I put my money where my mouth is. I help kids get to college. I'm not a guy.
Yeah, you
I'm not a guy that's out there just saying, hey, you know what? You're talking the talk, but do you do anything? I do. Yeah. I do my part the way I know how to do my part. I help kids get to college. I help kids get an opportunity to go to college.
Yes, you do.
I try to bridge that gap from high school to college to help them understand what the process is, how you get yourself in, and knowing when you get your 4-year degree, the ramifications of your livelihood will be drastically different because that's generational wealth now.
Right.
You have education to back you up.
Right.
It's a frustrating task that as we get older we can see and recognize, but it's hard to figure out why other people aren't doing it.
Why enough isn't being done to rid us of these situations. And I like the comment, and shouts out to Durno coming in. Good evening, great points, Montel. 100K goes far on the streets, right? So many are blind to that. I mean, not even that much, but again, that does go a long way to go and buy them encyclopedias. I'm dating myself, right? Go and buy those books for the school system. Go ahead and maybe pay the salary of a couple of teachers, right? Someone to actually be there for the school, as opposed to building another gym.
Yeah, or why not let's do something very more constructive. I mean, okay, Kanye, you're in the music. You spent all this money for people to come listen to your music at the Atlanta field. Why don't you go build music studios at all these schools?
Yeah. Yeah,
because that's gonna.
Once you bring back the art to public education, because that's been taken away now, right? So help with that. Yeah.
Why don't we focus on the bigger picture instead of giving back to the small things? And I know Kanye's. I mean, and I'm picking on him, and I don't want to, but he's just a great example of that. How you threw away frivolous money when you didn't have to, when you could have just gave that money to something a much bigger cause. His city of Chicago was in disarray. Yeah. With gun violence. Why didn't you say, hey, you know what? I'm going to buy every gun off up to $8 million for $100 a pop. People will be standing in line to get that $100 to give back a gun. That would give that many guns off the street. There's programs and things they can get involved with to help the masses instead of just helping the little bit. And don't get me wrong. I know they have charities. I know they do things. I know those guys I do a lot. And I'm sorry, you do a lot, but sometimes it's still a lot. You can still not enough.
You can still do more with the resources that you have. And yeah, you're right. Not picking on anyone. I will pick on someone. I don't know if you saw the video of Kodak Black a couple of months ago, literally flushing thousands of dollars down the toilet.
See what I'm saying?
Right. So that makes no sense to me. Again, right? That's just wasteful, and that's selfish. Again, when that could go to some societal programs, can go to some educational programs, could go to the lady you see down the road who's struggling. Give her that $20,000 that you just flushed down the toilet.
Why don't you go out to a restaurant and leave that $1,000 as a tip to somebody? Yeah, that's what you could have done. That would have helped somebody big time. That helped somebody that's in the working force is trying to do some great things. Why not? Why are we not focusing on let's figure out how to deal with these people that are in the homeless situation that's doing it? And I'm not talking about let's depend on the government to do it. Why aren't us, our own people that are in affluent positions helping to do something? Say, we need to figure something out to clean this on up, or do something to make sure we help these people out, or do something to give back. And I get it, man. You can only give so much back. I completely understand. If you got 10 million, hey man, I can't give all my money away because I'm touched for a long time. I get where they come with that rationale because somebody always wants something. Yeah. But when is it a point when that little bit you do is not enough? I'm sorry, man. I love Michael Jordan to death. I do. As an athlete, as a basketball player. But as a person that's in community, he may do something good for Chicago and North Carolina, but we don't see it here on the West Coast.
Mm.
All I see is your $300 shoes there. I don't see you giving back anything. Now, in retrospect, I see Seth Curry giving back to Oakland. I'm seeing him feeding people in Oakland. I'm seeing doing different things in Oakland. I'm seeing him trying to make Oakland a better place. And he has a literacy program. He gives books back.
No, that's true. Yeah.
Those are what we need to change the next generation. Not we need another basketball court or we need another thing, another whatever thing that's insignificant. We don't need more clothes. We don't need all that. We need more things to help educate our young men. More STEM programs. Fund a STEM program in your community. Form those are what we need. Form that in your community. That doesn't cost a lot of money. Form a STEM program for young ladies and young men so they can get involved in robotics and computers, which is our future. I don't, like I said, enough is not enough sometimes, especially when you're in a situation some of these guys are. It's not enough. You got millions of dollars at your hand, and sometimes it doesn't even take money. It just takes you putting your face on something in order to give back to it, to make it popular. We know that because we know rich people don't pay for anything. They usually get things for free. Well, why don't you use it in the reverse and say, you know what? If you want to use me, I need you as a company or whatever to give back to over here. Yeah. Give back to this.
So let's flip this, because this is a great dialogue, and I want to keep going on this, because now I want to flip it and ask, what's the action item for us, for everyone else, right? So we're not in the same position as a Shaq. Mm-hmm. Shaq's doing some great things though too. So I want to give him some props too. But like a Steph Curry, like the Curry family, like some of the other folks out there that are doing good things all the time. Where can we bond together, do some grassroots things to make a better impression on our society? I know my answer, but I kind of want to hear just the dialogue and the comments.
Me personally, I think find out what you're passionate about and what made you successful, and give that back.
There you go.
You don't got to give back. It don't always got to be money. It doesn't always got to be, I got to come up with $10,000 to donate. It doesn't have to be. It could be your time and your knowledge, the share of knowledge on how to get to a place like you. That's more than enough. You don't have to go to a school. Take one individual, your child's friend that you know that's in trouble.
Yeah.
Shed some light on that one person right there. Give that person a little bit of attention and show them, say, hey, you know what?
Be a mentor.
Be that mentor, but not just be a mentor by showing them that you're an adult and how to handle yourself. Be a mentor and show them something that's going to stable them financially or favor them in their mind to change their situation. Mm-hmm. And I know, I give props to teachers. Yay. Teachers, they need to be paid $1 million a salary a year because they dealing with what they're dealing with. But I think now we need more than that, because the way you guys are strap-holded as teachers, strangle-holded with budgets, and you can't do the things you want to do. I think they need to be given more, and they need to give one more just props at the very least. But I believe people that are not teachers need to be able to just something you're passionate about, pass that knowledge to the next person that is passionate about it just like you are, and show them the way. If you like you, James, you're social media guru. I would hope for you to find somebody out there that wanted to learn how to work the keyboards and do all that thing. You say, hey, I'll do an online class for you guys, right, or for you, and show you how to do this. That's more than enough, because if we can change one, both of us together, now we can change two. All of us together it goes to 4, and so on and so on. It just passes itself along. And now we're in a situation where we're not just chasing money wealth, we're changing generational wealth. We're showing these people, knowledge, how to have that backbone and that background to say, hey, I can be successful in the future no matter what, because now I have a piece of paper to back me, and I have knowledge to back me, and certificates and so on to get me through the door.
That's real talk, man. And I appreciate you for saying all of that. And I really, I stood back because I wanted you to get that story and hear that story off of your chest. But I agree completely with you, and I appreciate what you said, because I think part of what we're doing is providing some of that with this, right? Yeah. Because again, we're going very deep into a lot of conversations. We're providing a platform. We're providing a venue for folks to have these types of awkward discussions. Look, you know, a month ago we had such a good discussion that I had to take a break because we got so deep into it. But again, this is a great venue to have those types of things, and we own this platform, and we're allowing folks to have differing opinions, differing conversation, different views, and things of that. Right? We agree sometimes with Kevin Cox, we disagree with him sometimes. We agree with Melanie, we things of that nature, right? But we're allowing folks to have an environment to discuss about that. So as long as we keep doing this good work as well, I really feel that we're providing a positive influence on the community, on the folks that share this information and say, you know what, go see what Montel and James are talking about, because they actually are talking about something that matters, something that actually has substance, and then giving and asking folks to go put it into action, go out there and make a difference into the community. So we went long on that, but I think, again, there was a reason for that. And hopefully it resonated with folks that are either watching now or going to catch this on the replay. But yeah, man, it's just so much going on that you can't be complacent. You got to be an active member of society. You got to put in some work, right? Stop talking about it all the time.
I think the notion of oh, I'm not going to do nothing, and that's just them over there, or I'm not going to get involved because that's them over there. You know what? Like I said, find that, and I made it easy. Find that thing that you're passionate about personally. I don't care if it's collecting coins, comic books, whatever it is you're passionate about. Find a young person that else is passionate about and give them that knowledge that you have on how to get there. And how, you know, I always, it's funny because I always tell people, I hate when we have to always start in the negative to catch up with society. You know, we're a -1 financially as a family. We got to build ourselves up so we can at least get an even play. We need to think about that on the knowledge scale as well. Can't be just finding on the knowledge. We need to be able to pass that knowledge on to the next young person for them to be able to figure out a ways to close that gap. You know, we know they don't have the right resources, but you know, we have people in our neighborhoods or in our community that's done really good things. Let's follow their lead and let's show these young people how to listen. You know, that's why God gave you one mouth and 2 ears. Listen first, then speak.
Oh, watch out! Now you dropping some gems on them right there, but
let's listen
like
first.
My pastor said, make it plain. I love it.
I mean, but you got to admit, listening is an art form. You got to learn how to listen. Teach them how to listen, and then they can take corrective action on that and be able to put their own spin on it. But like I said, if anybody out there wants to do something for the community, I'm passionate about football, so I use football as my catapult. Find something you're very passionate about and show people how to do that, and encourage people that are interested in that, and just give them the knowledge. You know, just show them the game, and then they'll soak it up, and then I guarantee that person will take a different path.
Yeah, there was no excuse. There was no excuse, and there was no better time to start than today. Don't wait till tomorrow. Right? Write it down, because it's just a plan. If you don't write it down, and when you write it down, it becomes a goal.
Yeah.
Right. So write it down.
Look at you.
Well, watch out now. I had that one saved up. That's going on the shirt though. That is. I'm going to throw that out there and see how that resonated with the crowd there.
I like that one. I like that one.
That's going to be on the shirt before too long. Brother, let's keep it moving. That was a great discussion. I want to end on an entertainment note. Kevin Cox isn't going to like this because he said that he's not a LeBron fan, but it's not a LeBron story, but it is a pretty cool thing here. Check out this little piece. And I don't know if you've seen this either as well. This Senegal-based artist who out there making art with the basketball, and it eventually will turn into something. Definitely check this out. As this is happening, it's going to take a few minutes to. There you go, starting to fill out. But tell us what you got going on, Montel, because I think you again are continuing to stay active in the community. But tell us what you got going on next.
Man, first of all, this young man right here is super talented.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. I would, anybody can paint. First of all, anybody can paint is talented. Period. Somebody paint with a basketball.
He painted with a basketball.
That's crazy. Me, what I got going on, man. I mean, right now I'm on every Monday morning. I'm on the show called the PPR, a Prep Pigskin Report, that gives a recap of what's happening in high school football in the San Diego community, and kind of gives some more insight to those things. So I'm doing my television thing there, and then I also now got my All-Star game coming up, which is a big deal in San Diego County, which I take a lot of the players and we play obviously a football game, but within that football game, we have, I make sure they network with colleges, get them involved with some schools so that mostly young men can have an opportunity to play beyond high school. All of them won't be Division I guys. They won't be the guys you see on TV like the Colorados, UCLA, USC's, but there's schools in the Midwest like Hastings, Tabor, Buena Vista, Southwest Minnesota State. There's schools that are all out there that they can have access to be able to play it. And I try to bridge that gap between those schools and them when they play in my game. So that's going to be my biggest goal, kind of coming into the next couple of weeks. And then beyond that, man, just working with some other people, trying to do some other things. Definitely just trying to give back, and definitely give back to young people to make sure they can understand there's opportunities and options for them.
I love it. I love it. And the stuff, again, I want to say this, though. The stuff that you're doing is fantastic. I want to put this message out there as well, folks. Again, and I kind of already alluded to it. What we're doing here, Team No Sleep, and everything, all the other streams here at Hicks New Media, our goal is to do three things: enlighten, entertain, and educate. And we're doing that. I really believe that we're doing. I'm not going to say I think we're doing that. We are doing that. And the fact that we go so deep in some of these conversations, some of these topics, hopefully that resonates with you. Hopefully that causes you to want to have a discussion later on, or maybe even reach out to Montel, myself, Tall Boy, or any of the other co-hosts that I may have on the channels. We're really trying to elevate the conversation and not just talk about things that don't matter. We're really looking to have conversations that matter. So stick with us. Keep supporting. Keep giving us your feedback. Keep hope alive. Who was that? That was old Jesse right there. That was old Jesse's statement.
He said, "Keep hope alive, boy."
Oh, where I pulled that up.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for that. Doing it very well. We're just being servants, all right, and we're trying to serve and be attentive to the community. So, man, that being said, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go wrap up for the night, get ready for tomorrow, because it's a brand new day tomorrow. I'm gonna go in here and find something to eat. I don't know what we're gonna do, but appreciate y'all and you as well, man. You're a good man.
Absolutely, man. Same to you.
Later, brother. We out.
All right.